Hello everybody, there's multiple dumpster fires in the gaming industry burning. As I am speaking currently, I am very well aware of the dumpster fire that's happening inside the Dragon Age division in EA, but it is not a video that I'm prepared to talk about right now, for I don't have enough research on it. One thing that I have been keeping up with, because it's my favorite dumpster fire, is Bloodlines 2. And that one is burning bright, let me tell you that. First of all, these are all the jobs at Hardsuit Labs. All of these are in their department in Seattle, which is working on Bloodlines 2. And all of these require RPG experience, an extensive RPG experience. So we're currently hiring for a lead game designer, gameplay engineer, senior producer, lead producer, and audio director for a game that was supposed to be released 10 months ago? Yeah, about 10 months ago. On top of that, the staff that is in charge for communicating with the community is quitting voluntarily. Farewell Fiona, Prince of Discord, PDX moderator of the Steam forum. PDX Hardsuit's only community manager has finally had some common sense knocked into her, and now she is off to bigger and better things. Congratulations. Seriously, you deserved better. They haven't posted an update since August. Since then, it has been like a constant churn of developers. And now the community manager is just outright sick of this shit and is just quitting. Which nobody can blame them for, honestly, because this is a dumpster fire. You don't rehire people 10 months after your game was supposed to be released. Furthermore, Paradox did an announcement and people on the forums Google translated it. Paradox do not believe Bloodlines 2 released during the first half of 2021. So we are talking about, 16 months late for the original release schedule now? Does not believe that Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 will launch. Time has been moved forward twice, will be launched during the first half of 2021. Paradox is the publisher of Bloodlines 2, which is developed by the game studio Hardsuit Labs, which Paradox owns 33%. It was originally intended that the launch would take place in the first quarter of 2020, a time that was later changed to the second half of 2020 and then changed to 2021. You have left the time quite wide open for the next year. The game may come. Is it conscious that you do not dare to promise the first half of the year? I do not think it will come in the first half of the year, but we will see. The schedule for Bloodlines 2 has been affected by both staff dropouts and the pandemic. Of course, also the staff firings. The delays led to Paradox making the decision to adapt the game also for new console generations PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, which have been released recently. This adaptation work has itself contributed to the delay in the launch. To be able to develop for the next generation, you have to have development kits from the manufacturers, yet somehow a lot of games are handling this fine? And I'm pretty sure that both Sony and Microsoft were affected by the pandemic because they did not have many development kits. Paradox has earlier this year flagged that the pandemic has affected productivity and that there is a risk that, above all, game titles that have not yet been communicated will be delayed. And with the second pandemic wave now spreading, there has not been much breathing pause, was there? It depends a bit of which countries we're talking about, but it was a bit of a breathing pause. Now it will be a bit tougher again and it's not great. At the same time, we're building long-term preferably. You would not want any delays at all, part of the business and something we are used to handling. In addition to Bloodlines 2 and surviving the aftermath, games that were announced as early as 2019, your launch calendar for 2021 looks a bit thin. We do not really know how the delays affect yet, and we would like to know internally when we can release something before we announce it. It takes longer and becomes more complicated, but it's not the case that it's impossible. And look at how accounting looks like. It can be seen that we are investing a lot for the future there, and definitely things in the pipeline. There is a long way to go until the next year is over, says Ebert Lundgerud. My biggest concern is that they have rehired the lead writer that seems to be rewriting the game, and now they're rehiring the rest of the leads, some of which are supposed to be creating RPG systems, something that this late in the development, 10 months late, should have already been there. There's quite a lot of forums calling out Outstar, and I feel really, really bad for her. I think it's just like one really pissed dude, because she, from what I saw, is responsible for making World of Darkness content on their YouTube channel. She seems to have been hired from one of the fans of their game/RPG department. She seems to be also playtesting the RPG and stuff. I listen to their podcasts sometimes. The direction that they're taking with some things often is like worrying, but also like vague, so I can't really report on it. Like, you listen to 2 hours and you're like, that sentence worries me, and that sentence worries me, but as you gave me nothing concrete to work with, I can't really make a video on it, so I am just gonna let the worrying sentences lie and not make pointless content. But effectively, I do feel sorry for her, because her job seems to be to keep the peace on the Discord, which apparently is very volatile and upset, and rightfully so, and to make content for the YouTube page, meaning she is more like an internal influencer more than anything else, as in, her job is to promote everything to do with the franchise. Her job is not to analyze, criticize the franchise, nor is she part of the inner developer circle, which would be able to relay news. Most of the time, when you're the media spokesperson, you're just not allowed to say things. You're just not allowed to say things, which makes your job extra hard, especially considering that people yell at you as well. There has been some people saying that, oh, it's just the fact that their graphics didn't look up to date. And I don't know about you, but I'm perfectly fine with this. Honestly, this is like the trailer that they put out. Please buffering, please actually buffer. Sure, animation is awkward as all hell. Awkward as all hell. It doesn't look right, right? But I don't need it for it to look right. I mean, Dwarf Fortress is a thing, for God's sakes. Most popular games this year is Phasmophobia and Among Us, one of which is 2D doodles, practically. I don't need my games to look spotless. I need my games to be fun. This works. This works for graphics. It does. And I am sorry that I have to play the trailer on mute because I'm been copyright. My biggest concern is that they're rewriting it. My biggest concern is that they scrapped whatever they had here, and that what they're gonna replace it with is gonna look and feel worse than this. I didn't like the original idea of playing as a Thin Blood. Honestly, couldn't care less about it. Not fun. Not my thing. But hey, they made that decision. They based the game on that decision. They decided to go with it. So stick with it. Plus, it's not the kind of things that I would expect them to be changing. Don't blink is the Thin Blood that they would be changing, of all things. I am pretty sure that their rewrites would be more to do with, I don't know, not enough diversity, or wanting a trans character as like a major character, or whatever the heck, because some of these people that are now on the development team express these kind of wishes. While previous development team had nothing against these kind of issues, but that wasn't the game that they were building. But hiring a lead developer in order to make you RPG systems 10 months after the game was supposed to be released is another one of those things that is just like, You were already supposed to have your RPG systems, buddy. Apparently you're past alpha stage. Alpha stage apparently was shown off and played, so you're past it. What were you doing? If you don't have RPG systems established by this point, what were you making? I mean, according to you, you're making an RPG, but what? So the only logical conclusion is that they're remaking the full game. And unfortunately, my gut is telling me not for the better. My gut is telling me it's not gonna be better than the alpha that we had. It's gonna be worse than the alpha that they showed off. Maybe it's gonna be prettier, but it likely is gonna be worse because you just had to have these kind of things established this far into development circle. What the hell? But hey, if you want to join this dumpster fire, okay, you go to the community hub on Steam, and it's actually really fun. Like, I read it daily because people are just like shit posting at each other, and it's freaking amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yes, all of the shit posts of stop saying that the game is gonna be bad, or you know, and everything, or we're just having some fun here, or there are no news, and it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. Like, yeah, let us separate into clan wars and war for supremacy. Etches eldritch blood runes on forehead. I tend to walk around naked and slathered in the blood of my enemies anyway, so that part won't change for me. So yes, people are just like top tier guys on Steam forums. It's nice, it's free, and nobody seems to be moderating it all that much. So hey, if you want a community, join in the dumpster fire. It's honestly enjoyable. It's like we all brought lawn chairs and popcorn, and we're having a great time here, to a point where some people are saying that the price tag is worth it to see the dumpster fire, even though you don't need to pay it. In fact, the dumpster fire is free. It's the best entertainment that internet can provide you with. But yeah, low hopes for this game. Low hopes for this game. Higher hopes for Swan Song. Apparently, Swan Song is Epic Games exclusive, so I'm not gonna see it for quite a long while. So, you guys tell me if it's any good. I can wait. And yeah, thank you for watching. We're gonna have to explore BioWare's dumpster fire probably tomorrow. And if you like my content, please subscribe. I do keep up with dumpster fires. And toodaloo.